Hello, we're live. Who's watching? Tune in. Day 4 of our 5-day challenge. How have you guys been getting on? Hey, Liddy. I don't even know why I'm drinking hot tea. It is so warm outside. Who's tuning in from the UK and getting this beautiful weather? So good. It is so good. Loving it. Oh, yay! Loads of people straight on. You guys are so prompt. Thank you so much for showing up again. How have you been getting on with the day 3 homework? Because that was really intense. There was lots of deep diving, lots of breakthroughs, lots of discoveries. Hey, Heidi. Hello, everyone saying hello. Yay! Made it to a live. So glad you guys are here. Amazing. Tomorrow we're going live even earlier because I'm trying to make it fair for all the clients that are in the Australia side of the world and all the clients that are in the America side of the world, because we're smack in the middle here in the UK. So just trying to balance out all the time zones. So tomorrow we're going live super early just so that I can do at least one live with all of my Aussie babes who are down under. How you guys doing? Okay. Today's training is going to be all about money language. And this is a huge one because we all have a tendency to speak things into existence, especially when it comes to our money. So be completely honest with yourself. How many times have you caught yourself going, oh, I'm so broke. Oh, I can't afford it. Oh, it's too expensive. She charges how much? Why on earth has she spent that much money on that? Why is he driving such a fancy car? He can't afford that. I'll never have the money that I want to have. All the things. How many times have you caught yourself speaking negative financial experiences into existence? We all do it. Do you know what? Even I still do it. So being money conscious doesn't mean that we completely eliminate any negative money language, but we want to eliminate 99% of it. You know, so for example, we were talking about nappies and diapers the other night, weren't we? If you can get them cheaper and they do a better job, then that would be the money conscious option that you go for. But you don't need to moan about a particular brand of nappies or diapers being more expensive than another. You make the conscious observation and then you choose a different choice. Having said that, I was once presented with the option to buy a pair of boots. I can't think what the brand was now. Oh, I can't think. And I'm really big into my fashion. I love my shoes and my handbags. I'm a Taurian woman. I love my materialistic things. And I was presented, I can't remember which brand it was now. It's going to drive me mad. I remember I was in this store and this woman said to me, oh my God, you should totally try these boots on. They would look amazing on you. And I tried them on and I was like, oh my God, they are like divine. Like these boots are insane. And I asked her the price and they were £4,000 for a pair of boots, which at the time, granted, wasn't as conscious as I am now. But my immediate reaction was, that's outrageous amount of money for a pair of boots. Why would I spend that much money on a pair of boots? In hindsight, maybe I would now. But that was fairly recently. So we all do it. Now, the thing is with this money consciousness, with this day 4 where I really want to talk about language, is to bring you guys into conscious awareness with your money language. So if you want to start a new note on your phone, I've got an iPhone, so you can write notes. I don't know if there's something similar on Samsung and Galaxy phones, but you know, just like a note somewhere, or if you're the type of person that prefers to just like jot notes down, if you've got like a little notebook that you can carry around with you everywhere. But every time you think a negative thought about money, or every time you speak a negative thought about money, I want you to write it down. At least for the next 24 hours, so that you can go through all of your notes and the things that you've written and observe any patterns that exist in your negative money behavior. So you're looking for key things, like key reoccurrences that happen in your language. It might be that you are more negative about your spending, or it might be that you're more negative about your earning, or that you're more negative about your savings, or perhaps you're more negative in judgments of other people. So perhaps your negative money language is geared externally rather than internally. Perhaps your negative money language is more to do with self-worth. Perhaps your negative money language is more to do with your partner or your home life or your business or your career or your job. Okay, so we're not just trying to eliminate just general money language here. First, we're trying to bring consciousness to your money language and pinpoint and really drill down on What specifically are you speaking into existence? Where is the real root cause of the negativity in your language, in your financial situation? Does that make sense? So that's the first part of your homework. I have a few notes here for you. The second thing I want to talk to you guys about is listening to the ego mind and listening to the monkey mind. So how many of you have ever experienced the monkey mind? Do you know what I mean by the monkey mind or the ego mind? When you kind of switch a negative switch and then all of a sudden your thoughts start to just run away with you and you fall into that awful spiral of, oh God, and what if that happens? And what if that happens? And oh God, and what if I can't do that? And what if that person says this? And what if that person reacts? And blah, 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 blah. And the monkey mind literally goes mental. Being money conscious with your money language and your money thoughts is being able to control that ego mind and that monkey mind. So in order to help you do that, I need to give you guys some tools that you can use every time the ego mind and the monkey mind kicks in. So next time you become, obviously the first part is the awareness. So once you're aware of that monkey mind and that ego mind kicking in, you can use some of these tools. But once you've got the awareness, then you can say to yourself, but what if that weren't true? Or you can say to yourself, but what if I could choose to believe something else? Or what if this is just my ego and none of what this voice is saying is actually true? And in that moment, all you're doing by asking these very simple but conscious questions is you are creating what we call a pattern interrupter. When you create a pattern interrupter in your behavior, your thoughts, your feelings and your emotions, you're giving yourself an option to open the door to consciousness. And this is a phrase that I've been using throughout this week. When we open the door to consciousness, we give ourselves a different opportunity to walk a different path, to create a different outcome, to manifest a different reality. Okay? It's as if you've been walking down the same path your whole life, and you've been walking down this hallway your whole life, and every step you take, there's doors on both sides that are other options. These are alternative options. These are different ways of living, different ways of thinking, different ways of speaking, different ways of making money, different relationships, different opportunities, different insights, different philosophies, different, all kinds of different things. But you've been so hell-bent on just walking on this particular path, this path that you believe in, this mindset that you're subscribed to, the way that you behave, the way that you think, that you've been blindsided to all of these doors to consciousness which are available around you. So as you're doing all of this money consciousness work with me, I really want you guys to get that mantra into your head. Where is the door to consciousness? And this is where you just need to stop yourself in your patterns, stop yourself in your language, stop yourself in your behavior and all of your negative thoughts and feelings with money, and elevate into consciousness so that you can just pause for a hot second and be like, oh, if I thought differently, I could translate my life into this. If I behaved differently, I could break my pattern and move my life into that. If I did this differently, I could manifest something else. These are all doors to consciousness. It's up to you to see the door to consciousness, but seeing that door to consciousness requires serious, brutal honesty and truth with yourself. You can't stick your head in the sand when you do this work. You can't lie to yourself when you do this work, and especially not when you work with me, because I will see straight through your energy and I will call you on your bullshit, and I will tell you if you're not being aligned and authentic. It's one of my special gifts. My clients love me for it. Sometimes they hate me for it, but the results that we get as a consequence of it are just divine. So a few little tips there for your ego mind and your monkey mind. Right, removing negatives from your vocabulary. So once you've been acknowledging and being aware of your monkey mind and your ego mind, and you're listing out all of the negative things that you tend to say, and you've pinpointed perhaps patterns that are repeating through your negative language, I want you to then write out new phrases that you can use. And it's actually a really good idea to do this by hand, because there's something about writing out by hand that makes the connection with the brain much, much stronger, rather than if you're texting or if you're typing. There's a scientific thing somewhere that I remember. I can't think of it off the top of my head now, but writing out a positive opposite to the negative pattern that you found is really powerful. And the more you write it, the more it will ingrain itself into your into your manifesting thought space and your creative energies that you use when you're thinking about money and calling things into reality. And if you want, you can then use these positive affirmations or these positive opposites of the negative patterns that you found and create little screenshots for them and little wallpapers on your iPhones, your desktop. You can even do little pop-up reminders and really get into the habit of breaking your own pattern when you start speaking negatively about money, and instead use the positive recreations that you've made with consciousness, and then try to instill those conscious recreations into your daily habit and your daily thought process. So this is something that requires some time, yes, but you can do this in the next 24 hours very, very easily. So some other leading questions that I want to give you guys in order to help you interrupt your pattern with your negative languages are, and I will send you these on the email with all the homework stuff, as always, I promise. You can ask yourself, what would it take for that new client to sign up today? Or you could say, where is the opportunity for money to arrive today? Or you could say, who will pay me today? Or how does today get to be money conscious? So you can ask yourself all of these leading questions. Now, when you ask yourself a leading question, you need to open yourself up to divine channel, up to source energy, for the divine intuitive messages of your higher self to come through and speak to you. Okay, so it's not a case of you'll say, oh, who will pay me today? And then you allow your monkey mind to kick in straight away and go, well, no one's going to pay you today because you're not worthy of money and you haven't put anything out there and blah, 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 blah. And all those bullshit excuses that you tell yourself, you do not allow yourself to go into a negative money spin. If that happens after you ask a leading question, you take a few deep breaths, you say the prayer that I shared with you on day 2 of the money challenge, and you try again. What would it take for someone to pay me today? Or what would it feel like for someone to pay me today? Or what opportunities can I put out for someone to pay me today? Or universe, show me what I need to do in order for someone to pay me today. And then you just relax, you surrender, you slip back into this, I am fully supported, I am divinely guided, I am worthy of receiving, I am worthy of money. My soul didn't have to pass a validation test in order to come to planet Earth, where I have a right and responsibility to abundance. And you can tell yourself all of these positive affirmations and all the things that we've been discussing these last 3 days in order to counterbalance your negative language. This is a habit. This will take time. But in order to get conscious with it quickly, this is a homework that you need to do. You need to observe all of your thoughts over the next 24 hours. And I want you to observe them quickly right after you watch this training, whether you're watching live or on the replay, because you will already be making energy shifts just by receiving this information. So I want you to see your pattern before it starts to shift. If you don't see your pattern before it starts to shift, you'll shift temporarily, but the cycle will come back round because human beings are cyclical beings, and you will find yourself back at that place, back in your negative language pattern. Okay, so the timing of you doing this work is really, really important. There are plenty of money mindset hacks and techniques and stuff out there, but understanding the psychology and the energetic shifts that we make naturally as human beings is so, so important for doing the work. Timing is crucial, and not many people tell you that when it comes to working with your money mindset. Your language will still be in its old pattern for the next 24 hours after you've watched this video. So that is the time. Just make a note in your phone. This does not have to be some great big palaver or drama. Just really start to become aware of the negative language that comes out of your mouth and the negative language thoughts that you have in your head, and write them down. Everything that you hear and say over the next 24 hours. After 24 hours, notice the patterns that are appearing. Are you negative about yourself or your business or your partner or your home? Are you negative about earning or receiving or spending or giving or saving or investing? Or is it negative around debt? Try and find the patterns over the next 24 hours. Then write the perfect positive opposite of the negative pattern that you have created. And then for the few days following that, every time you catch yourself in that negative thought, use one of your positive opposite replacements to reinsert it back into that ego monkey mind, so that the ego monkey mind cannot run away with your old negative pattern. And just bit by bit by bit, these tiny little incremental upgrades, you will start to permanently adapt your language so that those negative thoughts don't even come into your mind, let alone out of your mouth. When you have removed your negative money language, you've also removed the negative money frequency that you've been carrying around like a really heavy rucksack for I don't know how many years. When you're manifesting and when you're creating, the last thing you need is baggage. You want to be really free and light and accessible to reach those higher frequencies, those frequencies of love from which we create and manifest, so that you can call things in quickly with really huge financial reward and financial gain for yourself. Right? So do you understand the importance of removing this negativity in just in your language and your thoughts? And there's so many other places that we can remove it. And when I walk you guys through the brand new course that I'm about to launch very soon, it's a bit top secret at the minute, but I will walk you through all the different places that we need to remove the negative associations with money from. But for this free training, and this will be really, really impactful, you'll notice the shift straight away. I want you to focus on your thoughts and on your language. And when the monkey mind kicks in, open up with those leading questions and allow that divine guidance, that higher self, the version of you that knows you have a right and responsibility to abundance, allow that to come through and answer those questions. And not even necessarily answer the questions, but just do the work for you, because you're entering into a vibration of possibility. And a vibration of possibility is so much higher than a vibration of fear or a vibration of I can't or a vibration of low self-worth. A vibration of possibility is higher than that. So it's just simply by asking leading questions, you're shifting your energy into an energy of possibility. When you're open with possibility, you are far more open and receptive to the universe, so that the universe can come and co-create with you and call your manifesting, your desires into true manifested form. Make sense? How does this sound to you guys? Let me know. I think I've got a few questions that I need to answer today as well. But let me know how you feel about this homework. If you know you're guilty of negative money language, if you're willing to step up and change it, tell me other things. I'm getting so many love hearts, it's super cute. They're literally just flying up the side of the screen. Thank you, guys. For those of you watching on replay, and I don't know how many hours, just hashtag replay and let me know it's all making sense. I'm just going to scroll through a couple of these so I can see who's on. Oh, yay! So glad that some of you are making it live. Is this the first time? My email address is on the website. If you want to go grab it, you will be emailing my executive assistant, not me. And if you want to speak to me directly, then if it's suitable, she will pass it on. Oh, Goddess First, celebrating money from this day forward. Yay! Way to go. Love it. Oh, I appreciate you too, guys. You are awesome. If you're still catching up with days 1, 2, 3, that's absolutely fine. Just don't forget, if you want to be in with a chance to win the $444, you just need to post consecutively for 5 days using the hashtag AskHMoneyChallenge and tagging me at Harriet Hale in your posts and in the comments as well. Everyone is happy. Amazing. Okay, so I'm going to send all the information for the homework for this particular part of the challenge out on email. I'm going to add it to the homework hangout page, so everything is now all in one place. It's beautiful. There was a couple of questions that I had come through that I just wanted to answer here. So somebody messaged me asking about consciousness. And when you start up-leveling your consciousness, is it true that you begin to notice the consciousness in other people or the lack of consciousness in other people? The answer is yes. So as you become more conscious and you begin to break free of your old patterns and your old habits, you will begin to see your old patterns and your old habits in other people. It's called the law of reflection. It's one of my 11 universal laws. If you don't have my universal laws class, I really highly recommend you go get it. It's only £44. So worth it. But anytime you make any kind of energy shift, and obviously the more you elevate into consciousness, the more you're making these energy shifts. But as those happen, the law of reflection comes into play, because that's the universe's way of showing you the old version of yourself so that you are super clear on who you are evolving into and you become super aware of your conscious evolution. And it's kind of, it's a universal checkpoint. It's a universal's way of saying, are you sure you want to leave behind your old life? Are you sure you're ready to evolve into the new conscious version of yourself? Because this is what you used to look like, and it will present that. And at this point, you're on the slight edge. You have a choice. You're at a total crossroads. And it's a test that obviously you want to pass, but not everyone necessarily does pass it first time. Perhaps they need a few rounds through the law of reflection or the law of assignment to get it right. But if you witness an absence of consciousness in someone else, and perhaps it triggers you or it upsets you, or you just notice it, that is your opportunity to say, hey, that used to be me. I used to be that person. I used to be really void of consciousness. So instead of judging that person, I am going to choose to stick to my consciousness, and I'm going to choose to elevate into consciousness and have the compassion for that other person who right now is choosing not to be in their consciousness. Okay, so for the person who has to ask me that question, I hope that answers your question. And then somebody else asked me the difference between the ego and the soul, and how you know when it's your ego speaking and how you know when it's your soul speaking. I do a whole video training on this in my Money Consciousness program, which I'll be opening for enrollment later this week. But in short form, I suppose the simplest answer that I can give just for the sake of an Instagram live is when your ego is answering the questions, when your ego is speaking to you, and when you're in your ego energy, it's quite restrictive. It can be quite fear-based. It might feel as if you're just contracting a little bit and pulling away from things. If you're in your soul energy and your soul is coming through and speaking to you and answering your questions and connecting with you, then you'll feel very expansive, you'll feel very joyful, you'll feel very blissful, and you'll feel very abundant. And this is even the case when you're asking for guidance or questions about something that you shouldn't do or shouldn't go for, where there's a negative involved. There's a lot more to it, but there are some very, very key trainings in the Money Consciousness program that will help you to really eliminate the ego influence and really step into your soul and understand when both are at play. And ego is valuable. Your ego really is very valuable. Ego is not something that we want to get rid of completely. Many people say the ego is the thing that keeps you safe. It's a lot more than that. Again, probably not the place for me to deliver it on this training, just because we're focused on money consciousness and getting you guys through this 5-day challenge. But if these are the types of questions that you're asking me, guys, then this is probably why you need to keep your eyes open for the program that I'm opening in a couple of days, because these are the sorts of things that I'm really going to be helping you with. These are key to elevating your money consciousness, obviously alongside all the other things that I've taught you and shared with you this last 4 days. So for those of you joining, hello, it's so lovely to have you on. I am just wrapping up day 4 now of the challenge, but the replay will be going up straight away. The homework will be going out on email straight away. So this day is all about your money language and becoming really conscious and observant of the ways that you are negatively speaking your financial experience into existence and thinking your negative financial experience into existence. So becoming aware of that, becoming conscious of that, doing some work around it, shifting it, adapting it, and then creating pattern interrupters so that we can break this habit. Okay, it's a really, really powerful habit to break. That information is all going out to you guys now. It will also go on the landing page. As ever, if you've got any comments and questions and queries, you can DM me. If I can answer them on DM, I will do. If not, I'll just add a few questions to the bottom of the live streams. Tomorrow, day 5, I'm going to show you what, if anything, were possible, what that looks like, what it looks like if anything were possible, and how to access anything being possible. That's day 5. That's the final day of the challenge. Tomorrow, I'm going live at 10 a.m. UK time. So I know for a lot of my LA peeps, you guys will probably be fast asleep, but please catch the replay when you wake up. For all my Aussie babes, you will actually be able to catch this one at this time. So I'm so grateful for you, all my Aussies, for watching it on replay, because I appreciate sometimes it's just a bit more impactful live. And I want to give everyone fair scope at jumping on a live. But also, guys, on Thursday, and you do not want to miss this, I am announcing this here first. We haven't even done the registration page for this for this yet. I am doing a brand new free masterclass on 4 things that you didn't know about debt. And when you know them, it's going to escalate and elevate your abundance insanely quickly. This is brand new information. This is like divine download from spirit, literally this afternoon. I am so excited by this information. I know that this information has come through whilst I'm doing this challenge, because it's the stuff that I'm meant to share with you guys. So just think of it as a reward or a thank you or a congratulations or a celebration of money. for you guys for taking part in this amazing 5-day challenge, for doing the work, for showing up, for making the shifts, for making the changes. Thank you so much for all of your success stories. If you've got a success story from doing this challenge and something's already shifted, share it with me. I will celebrate you on social media, but then I'm going to celebrate all of you on Thursday when I gift you with this masterclass. It is going to be amazing. I don't have a place for you to sign up yet. It's literally so brand new, but you heard it here first, and there will be a link in your inbox and on the Instagram and all over the place very, very soon. So mark it in your diaries. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. for the last day of the challenge, and Thursday at 4 p.m. for this brand new masterclass on 4 things you did not know about debt. And you are gonna want to know them because it's amazing, it's life-changing, it's mind-altering. So, before then, go do your money language and money thoughts homework. I will see you guys tomorrow. Keep tagging me, keep DMing me, keep sharing, keep doing the work. Share with me your success stories. I will shout you out on Instagram, and I'll check in with you all really soon. Lots of love. Bye.